All right. Welcome to Live from FDIC, Fire Engineering Talk Radio Podcast, Networking for Success. I am your host, Dave McGlynn. I'm here again to fill a gap on Thursday. So Pete and Tammy were generous enough to give me another spot. So today I brought my buddy Scott McGonigal with me, and I have the awesomely awesome Steve Hamilton. I made sure I brought him with me today. So to keep the rhythm going with the whole FDIC or Live from FDIC thing, it's basically because a lot of people couldn't make it. So we talked about that the last show. I'm sure people, it's just been the ongoing theme with the COVID thing, and if people could do it, the date changes, all that good stuff. So we have our show guides in front of us because we just wanted to talk about some great classes that have gone on this week, some of the cool stuff that we've been able to see, some of the cool people we've been able to see, how our classes went, and all that happy stuff. So I want to start, not to put you on the spot, but I want to start with Scott because this is Scott's first time actually being at Indy FDIC International. So him as an attendee, I'm just, interested in what your experiences were and how you think it's going so far. Who's cool people you saw?
I couldn't even rack off the top of my head. There were so many people, even with Dave over there, he's hiding out in the corner mountain, just talking about the networking and seeing people that are, on emails that are in the traffic or just on Facebook Live, and actually getting to see them in person. They're real firemen. They're no different than us. Obviously, they're just on a different pedestal to send the message out. Yeah. But yeah, it's been awesome. The other part of it is there's so many classes going on. You're trying to jump in between everybody, just to see everything. So
yeah, I find that to be the challenge, and I say that like when I'm teaching, like if somebody does walk out, like I don't really take it offensive. Like when the first year I was here, I was like nervous about it, and Hammy was like, nah, it's not that big of a deal. So there's a lot going on at the same time. So especially like my slot is a Wednesday at 1:30. That's prime real estate in FDIC. So I'm very fortunate. However, me getting that spot also means that I have to compete with, Nick Papa and Bobby Halton did a class yesterday at 1:30. So try to take in as much as you can. I'm not saying pop in and be an imbecile and just swipe your card and be like, yeah, I'm here, and then walk out, but try to take in as much as you can. If you were in a class for a good half hour, 45 minutes, and you say, well, there's another one I really want to go to, if you got to pop out, you got to pop out. It is what it is. Same with the 4-hour workshops. There's a lot going on at the same time. Try to take in as much as you can. That would be my advice to anybody that attends,
And if you need to go to the bathroom, you can leave class to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Just don't take one of my bathroom breaks. I tend to take a while. I like to get comfortable in the bathroom.
That's why we're late right now.
Yeah, DMT.
Yeah, Dave McGlynn time.
So anyway, so tell me about same question. How you think it's going? How was your class? Some cool people you got to see again.
Class was good. I did responding to and preparing for acts of violence on Monday morning, which seems to be a stigma of sorts. It's always Monday morning. Class was good. I got a lot of great feedback. Great class participation.
Yeah.
One of the things that I truly enjoyed, especially this year, was the amount of feedback that I got, and the class kind of morphed into just a discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And how much I took away to improve.
Either interaction stuff's the best.
Yeah, to improve the presentation for the next time I teach it, wherever that may be.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
I was really pleased with that. I think COVID, whatever you want to say that you can't say in air about COVID.
Yeah.
But that hashtag, F cancer, F COVID.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But still, registration or registrants here is 22,000.
Yeah, they did pretty well. It's actually it's surprising, but I don't want to be disrespectful and say it's surprising. But it's kind of reassuring. Like it's nice to walk the halls and see people. I'm like, this is awesome.
Without mask on.
Yeah, without a mask on. Yeah.
And actually recognize them.
And the thing, wear a mask, don't wear a mask.
Yeah.
Vaccinated individuals are not required by Indiana and the city of Indianapolis to wear a mask, so they don't. And those that feel it differently, you're welcome to wear a mask.
Mm-hmm.
It's not people being irresponsible. They're just That's what this state has authorized and allowed. And people have their personal opinions about it, but I haven't heard or seen any strife or people being upset about it.
No, it hasn't been
real-
like a political war or anything like that, or, you know, the Karens of the world, you know, yelling at you for not having one or to put one on or whatever. It's been, if you're wearing one, you're wearing one. And if you're not, you're not. And everybody just kind of coexists. Imagine that, you know, guess you got to come to FDIC to coexist, but it's a good time, man.
It is. I took a number of classes that I thought were awesome, amazing. Bill Guston's standpipe ops. Every time he presents that class at FDIC, I try to go to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's his energy in the room. The presentation is always different or presented differently, and it is so technical, but also so common sense.
Yeah.
The way he lays it out. It's just an amazing class, and he offers it many different footprints or platforms. But if you're here at FDIC and you have standpipes in your jurisdiction,
Everybody
you need to go to that
does.
class. Am I lying?
Yeah.
Yep. Melon was there. It was
Yeah.
it's great.
Just bringing them in the background.
I mean, you're here.
Yeah,
Voice of
yeah,
reason.
yeah. Jesus. No, but no, that's a good point. You know, there's been, I don't want you to continue on, but there's been like this great group of hi. There's been kind of love live from FDIC. No, there's been this great group of like I always say, there's this cadre of instructors, all that. The programs are great. It's just like I said last time, you know, it's because it's been so long since the last one. It's a year and 4 months since the last one. It's almost like classes that you've already seen were almost fresh again because you like longed to see them again.
Absolutely.
You know, like programs that I had already sat through or that I knew personally, the person teaching it, and then I get to pop in and I'm just like, man, you know, like I stopped in Priz Borowski's class the other day when he was doing his 4-hour workshop, and I ended up adding a slide to my presentation because Priz had dropped some nugget in his class. I've read Priz's books. We talk on a regular basis. I've sat through his classes before, and it was just something popped up, and I'm like, oh, hey, I'm putting that in my class. Like, you know, so it's nice to, I hate to be the play on words, but the reset button, you know, kind of just like reopen your eyes to certain things. And but anyway, continuing some of the
How about Steven, when you had that aha moment when he's like, I actually took some nuggets out of your class, I'm gonna put it in my presentation.
Oh
Like,
my God,
you were
yeah.
honored by that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Pris said that to me last night. That was like, I was floored when he said that. He's sitting there, he's like, I think I kind of feel like I didn't do that good of a job as a training officer when I was in Santa Clara. I said, I'm sure you did, bro. I'm sure you did. It's not, he said, no, I got a lot of things that I want to take back. So that's cool, man. I appreciate it.
Well, what's a class that you went to, Scott?
I actually one day, you know, with Steve's class and the officer side of it, bringing it into another level, so to speak. It's different sitting down and actually listening to someone talk about, you know, everything that we've gone through and just bringing in another perspective in there. He's a home run.
Yeah.
Definitely class.
Yeah, I like Priz. He's definitely a stand-up guy.
Well, it's going to frustrate you.
Imagine that.
Just saying. And I mean this from the deepest pits of my heart. Your class, so you want to be a training officer, and do you have what it takes? That class was awesome.
Thanks. Thanks, man.
I put that on, as I said, talking about Gus's class, I put that there.
Thank you.
If that's a class I'd want to go back to over and over and over again. Not just out of the fact that I know that you're going to change it about 75,000
Oh my God, yeah.
before we do it again.
Yeah.
But
Or build on him actually making a workshop or whatever. There's so much
it was
go into that.
it was a great heads up presentation. It was a gut check. It was infotainment, as Diane pointed some of our instructors.
I like that. Yeah.
It was all encompassing. You did a fantastic job.
No, thank you. I appreciate that. It means a lot. Bro.
Not nervous anymore, not sweating.
No,
Yeah.
no, thank you. So anyway, so continue on about some of the other great people that you see.
I went to Paul Dan's box class today, lightweight construction.
Oh,
Not
cool.
your grandma's home.
Yeah.
That was really cool. Showing, I mean, from stick built house all the way up to, all right, here's your finished facility. Showing out the framing of a Burger King, and then asking everybody, well, based on the construction of the shit, do you know what this is?
Mm-hmm.
And then discussing the different components, the issues in the delivery of the lumber,
Mm-hmm.
and shaking on the back of the truck. They pull up, they dump it
Yeah.
off, it breaks.
Yeah.
How most
What the
people who
strength
buy,
is.
most people who buy a house, to include firefighters, you
Yeah.
don't get to see any of
Yeah.
that.
Yep. You're absolutely right.
So that inherent problem of now, fast forward 10, 15 years, that structure catches on fire and
Mhm.
it's
It wasn't built right to
unstable.
begin with, and there's
Right.
levels of stress it went under.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, that's something cool to think about. You don't even think about that.
And it wasn't, construction classes scare me.
Yeah.
Because I feel, is it going to be dry? Is it going to be talking about code? Is it that Paul put that information in there,
Mm-hmm.
but then he showed fire incidents.
Yeah.
And saying, okay, here's the first new arrival photo. See the smoke? It kind of looks like it's kind of clean, but it's still, you got some turbulent flame, you got some wind driven
Mhm.
fire. So now I have an opening somewhere within that structural space, which was the attic space, that now I have a wind driven event.
Mhm.
So I have an opening somewhere and an exhaust somewhere else, and talked about that whole, so it tied it all together. It wasn't just a codes or a standards class. It was
Yeah.
awesome. I liked it. It was great.
Yeah. All right. So put you on the spot. Craziest question. Are you going to put in a program to maybe present or do something at FDIC one day? That's the
Yeah, I
end
mean,
goal.
we've had-
like
yeah,
Steve's the one that inspired me to do it. So, it's like
Right.
a pass on thing.
We've had talks and looking at the homemade explosives element behind it with the act of violence, incorporating that together. So hopefully down the road,
Yeah.
something will actually happen.
What are we gonna do? What do we talk about? Let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah.
What are we discussing right now?
Talking about eventually, hopefully doing a DVD together, bringing in, what you've been preaching for years now, and incorporating the HME aspect of the first response and going on scene and talking about the secondary devices and hopefully incorporating all that into a visual aspect for people to grasp onto, because it's the HME or just even in general to explosive type, it's not a big thing on the fire service side. I mean, law enforcement is by all means, but on the fire service side, everyone rushing in to save the day and they're not putting the visualization on what's in that trash
Subject
can or
themselves
just
to something possibly more catastrophic.
Yep.
That's so articulate. I was just gonna say, we're gonna do a DVD. We're gonna blow stuff up and we're gonna use a high-speed camera.
But no, you got to get that message out there.
Yeah.
Got to get that message out there. It's a
Just
real
like
deal.
just like in my DVD responding to scenes of violence, we did the same thing. We took a high-speed camera, we shot ammunition at different things to discuss ballistics and how ballistics occurs, bullet path, travel, things that make it change, morph that into body armor.
Yep.
Literally intending to do the exact same thing, but with explosives.
Mhm.
Yep.
And talk about pipe bombs, talk about things that fire, law enforcement come in contact with more regularly than most would think. Their pipe bombs are found every day.
Yep.
People are making homemade stuff. Lots of kids are doing stuff in their backyard that they shouldn't be doing, that they're seeing off of YouTube. And it creates a significant hazard. You got to deal with it. So let's do that. And I'm honored that you would want to do it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So we'll see.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay
Stay
tuned.
Yep.
More to follow. No, it's good that you talked about that, because that's the thing is, like with FDIC, it never ends. All right. Everything we do in this business is just constantly evolving. We're responding to new emergencies. We have to, learn. We find out we need more technologies and tools to mitigate these emergencies. So before we even train on the emergencies, we have to then train on the tools that we need to mitigate the emergency. So the beauty about FDIC is like, you get these people that come from all over that can offer some level of expertise, and then offer that knowledge to people that attend or, watch the live from FDIC and whatever else, and they can take it back to their department and then they can try to train on it. And it's just, we're not just, and I'm not knocking any of the programs, but we're not just, FDIC isn't just, these great leadership books classes. There's everything. There's responding to scenes of violence. There's building a training officer program. There's a program that Priz is doing right now that I'm missing, and I wanted to just plug it because it's an interesting thing. The 2021 fire officer. Are you up to the challenge? Well, it's pretty interesting because I guarantee he's going to talk about a lot of the challenges that have gone on because of the pandemic as a fire officer. These are things that they're not being offered regularly, but here at FDIC, this is like, we have all the facets of great stuff to be able to bring. If we can get Scott out here, doing, the explosives part of it, so it's just, I love coming to FDIC for that. I'm not knocking any of the other conferences, but I am overly plugging FDIC because it's just, dude, like, this is the show guide. You know what I mean? Like, it's like
Where everyone shows
yeah.
up.
I mean, just
They're
look at all these people that come, and all the classes that are offered. If you're going to come, pay homage to the big names because they paved the way for us, but take it all in. There is so much stuff in this book that's, we were sitting before the class started and Steve asked me, because I'm the type that I just like to be improv and wing it. He's like, well, what are we talking about? And I said, let's just talk about the week and what kind of classes we like to see. So Steve's like, oh, I got to get a piece of paper and start writing some stuff down, yeah. And I got my show guide in front of me and Scott's got, I don't know what he's looking at here. He's
Whatever
looking
you
at
handed to the
vendors.
vendors.
I just told him not to have anything empty in front of him. But
Well-
the point is, there's a lot of things offered here.
And I write it down because I'm going to forget. The title of somebody's class.
Yeah, you don't want to do them in service. Yeah.
Right. The other aspect of that is that this is so big and there's such little time.
Mm-hmm.
For me this week, I missed PJ Norwood's class.
Mm-hmm. So did I, and I
I
really feel upset about that.
Jonah Smith, Frank Ricci,
Yeah.
Mike Dugan, who
Yeah.
just got the lifetime
Yeah, the
achievement
Brennan
award.
Award.
Yep. His class that he does with Galliano.
Oh yeah, rock this house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
that's
This
an
House Rocks.
This house rock. That's an awesome class.
It is an awesome
Yeah.
class. That's the negative side to having all this greatness
Yeah.
is that you're
Not
gonna
enough
miss.
time.
You're gonna miss
That's
stuff.
just, we
Yeah.
say that at the end of every week. We always say, I just feel like it wasn't enough time to see all the people I need to see, or like it's day 4. I haven't seen Bobby yet. Usually I've seen Bobby like within the first hour of being out here. I haven't seen him yet.
Right. Yeah.
It's just it because you're trying to take everything in, and I try to say to people is, even if you're an instructor, take everything in. Don't just teach your class and then that's it. Talk to everybody.
Have you made it out to the technology side? I haven't made it down there. Have you seen anything that's latest and greatest or no?
No, I mean, that's where I'm planning on heading.
Nice, same here.
It's been so overwhelming.
I've
Yeah.
gone anywhere but class.
Yeah.
I just haven't had the opportunity. It was another really good class was Dave Casey's right seat leadership,
Mhm.
which, as I understand it from talking to him at the author dinner last night, that's the last time he's going to offer that version because he has a new
Okay.
edition coming up for the book.
Nice.
That's cool.
But again, his class is a class that I can go to every single year, sit there
Yeah.
and see something, pick something up that I missed the last time, or reaffirmation, as you were saying.
Mhm.
But this is 8 to 5, 8 to 5:30
Yeah.
most days. The other great thing, because I've been to a lot of conferences, and we'll just leave them nameless. This place is the only conference that I've been to where the learning, the education, the picking things up, talking job stuff, networking, nowhere else like it.
Yeah.
Prime example, what we're talking about with getting bang and setting up a DVD and a video and doing all that. That conversation, that whole concept was after 5 o'clock.
After hours.
And so, yes, I missed PJ's class. I missed Jonah's class. I missed Richie's class. But while we're here, I've been able to spend time with them and talk business stuff,
Yeah.
also personal stuff, house, family, things like that, but also get that nugget that I need to teach me something.
Yeah.
And that opportunity is there. So, you know of a place, any conference that
No, there's not.
it does?
So there's not.
Something similar?
It offers everything, and it's again not to knock on anybody, and we're going to leave certain places out of it. It's just, it is. It's top notch. It's above the rest. It is superior. It's above standard. I mean, all these stupid little things you can just think of. I mean, we attribute it as the greatest show on earth in the fire service because it really is.
It is.
You know, it's not an easy place to always get. And the reason why is because it's above standard. There's everybody, like you just said, you know, it's just weighing on me about PJ's class. I really wanted to see PJ's class, and what really hurt was PJ came to my class, and I felt awful that I missed his class because he's a guy that I followed for years, you know, and he's continuing his success. He's running like the whole Connecticut Fire Academy now or something like that, a training program for them, and you know, so
Why did you miss this class?
because I was running around doing 100 other things, you know, that's exactly it. You just
Nope.
don't have enough time.
You missed this class because you were teaching your class when he was
No.
teaching his class.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, and he just finished early and came to my class? I saw him at the end of it.
So,
That's cool.
But-
That makes me feel a little better. Thanks.
but that's a prime example
Yeah.
to stop, to finish your class, right?
Hmm.
Pack up your stuff,
Yeah.
not go to the speaker room,
Yeah.
not run to the restroom, not, I got to get down the hall because I got to see what I can catch out of Dave's class
Yeah.
before he's done.
Yeah.
It's that.
That's huge. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's mutual respect across the board for you guys.
You just got
Our
crushing me
instructors.
right now with humility, bro. Like, just come on.
I'm sorry.
No, no,
You
no,
want me to
man.
say
That's
something
great.
negative?
Yeah, no, yeah,
No,
yeah,
that's just what.
PJ, if you're watching this, I love you. No, no, and Frank, you know, I didn't get to say goodbye to Frank. He left today, you know, and it's,
I didn't get to say goodbye
yeah,
to me either.
I love that guy, man. He's just, yeah, that's what you were saying. His first time Scott met Frank, and he's like, man, that guy's just so real, you know, and I'm like, I know, like, he's the best.
And I can say this because I've told him this all week. He always dresses like he's running for Congress.
Right? Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he has experience speaking to Congress. That's probably
Yeah.
why.
I-
you know?
Makes sense. Makes sense. So we got another full day tomorrow.
Mhm.
What are you planning on taking? What are you thinking?
Well, tomorrow I'm definitely doing the DOD thing in the afternoon. That's for sure. So not to overly plug it, but one, for responsibility wise, I kind of have to go to that because for our thing.
The training network?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah. So I'm going to be there, and that's in the afternoon. So any of the DOD folks that are listening or that are in attendance or whatever like that, the certification programs from, is it Air University or whatever, they're running a 4-hour workshop in the afternoon. Yes. And they're going to be just talking about upcoming things that are going on with certification programs, all the training updates, how the testing stuff goes. So this is just so you understand, even the people that have no idea what I'm saying right now. That's the beauty of FDIC. The whole DOD, Department of Defense, is here to brief on updates for their certification program so that firefighters can continue to get certified, and they're going to have a workshop, you know, where whether they like it or not, they're going to hear at least how I feel about certain things that probably should transpire in the future so that they can improve their program. And I stress again, improve their program, because I'll be there to make sure that they know that. But no, it's just in all seriousness, you know, like that's the stuff that's offered here. But you know, I'm just looking at the show guy because I know there's a couple things going on tomorrow. I think John Alston's doing something tomorrow. I wanted to stop in. He's a god in Jersey. Oh man, there's a lot of people going on in the morning there. Jesus. I can't tell you now.
Yeah, you got to throw darts at work.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
This is why we were playing this later on, to sit down and see what class.
Yeah.
we're gonna
Yeah,
run to.
really. mean,
Oh, I
there's
know
some-
what class, I know what class you're going to on Friday
What's that?
at
Other than
1
DoD?
o'clock. So you want to be an author,
Mm.
which is a class that Diane Rothschild runs. And it's open to all the attendees that are here. And they'll talk about how to become an author to the magazine, to fire engineering. How to put in a submission, try to be a speaker or have a presentation out here. I was telling Scott that everybody's got something to say. Everybody's got something to learn from somebody else.
Mhm.
Shoot your shot. The very worst thing that can happen is that they say no.
Yeah.
And then what do you do?
Try
You
again.
just try again.
Next year. Exactly.
That's what I
So-
did. I was denied. You just keep trying at it. It doesn't mean, plus don't, I say this every time. One, just real quick, because the question you would ask. So I'm going tomorrow morning to the 7 C's of Fire Officer Trust, which is by John Alston. He is the chief of New Haven, and he was also out of Jersey City, where he made his real bones. Jersey City. But seriously, just on that one, I say this all the time. So if you heard me say it before, it's because I truly mean it. Don't be a buzzword guy. Just because something's sexy on the internet right now, or you think leadership's cool because you read a leadership book and it really inspired you. Well, bro, if you got 8 years experience and you haven't been a leader, you probably shouldn't be teaching a class about leadership at FDIC. I'm just saying. I'll say it. Some people might like put you down a little easier. I'll just come out there and say it. Find your niche. I guarantee there's something that you are a professional at and that you're the subject matter expert at, and that you can pass knowledge on to people. Like, so for me, Steve helped me out because he made it apparent to me that like, hey, you really, the networking thing is your thing, and then from there we built on, why don't you tell people how to be a training officer? You do it all the time, So like, that's become my niche, and that's what I do. And that's what I teach about. One day, hopefully I'll teach a leadership class, but I'm okay not doing it right now. Because there's a lot of guys that have been doing a lot longer than me. So my point is if you've been denied, change gears, readjust, try to reevaluate, wonder if you probably should or shouldn't have been teaching. Don't just take it personal. And then 2, even if it is something you should do, just to continue to master on it, improve it, and then resubmit and reach out. Like Steve helped me, I got denied. And then I reached out to him and asked him, hey, like, how should I put this packet together? And he helped me tailor it so that it would make sense. Reach out to people that review these things. There's people on those review panels, that they'll help you. I mean, they truly will. They will help you make sure that thing looks good, but be genuine. Don't come here as a fugazi and offer some fake stuff. Nobody wants that. Don't bastardize the FDIC name. You know what I mean?
Did you say Fugazi?
Yeah.
Teach what you know. Nothing
Your
that's
last
sexy.
name, McGlynn?
Yeah.
I was just checking.
From Jersey.
No, you're absolutely right. And I would argue you are teaching leadership classes.
Yeah.
So you want to be a training officer. Is there a training officer out there that
Naturally, they're leaders.
ought to be a leader?
They
I mean, is there one that shouldn't be?
it's just exactly.
No.
I mean, they're developing new leaders, so they indirectly are leaders, and that's why I had that small
Absolutely.
part in my class about like, well, hey, in order you're a training officer, you're essentially a leader, but in order to be a good leader, first got to be a good follower.
You have to be a student. I
Mhm.
stole that from Guston years ago. I just won't let it go. When you're not a student anymore, it's time to retire. Do something else.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can always expand your knowledge.
I agree. Anything else you want to throw in there?
No, I don't. I'm
No.
just at all,
No.
listening to you guys, and especially for him, for the years he's been talking about
Yeah.
something that, I'm actually in person with this guy.
Yeah.
Hey, he actually wants to do something. This is
it's
gonna
cool.
be great.
Well, I ended
But
with,
it's about FDIC and networking.
we'll end it with that. I like that
Yeah.
you said that because it's like for me, and this, like for me, and I was talking to you about this last night, Melon. It's hard not to get starstruck because there are people that you really looked up to in this business, and then you get to see them kind of like in an intimate way. So like as I've been able to kind of grow in it and be with them, I've kind of more accepted a role of just like their peers and their people that are mentors and people I look up to and I respect what they've done. So like this year I came into it and I was like, I'm just gonna be cool. And then I saw Chase Sargent. And
was
Chase
awesome.
Sargent's book was the first fire engineering book I ever read. And when I first became an officer, and then literally I have bought his book every time that I was working with a person that just recently got promoted. So with no exaggeration, 3 times now I've bought that book outside of for myself. So 4 times in total. I saw Chase and we were talking last night at the authors thing, and I didn't recognize that he's Chase because he looks like Guy Fieri, and I was waiting for him to be like diners, dives and drives, and then Steve's like, yeah, it's Chase Sargent. I'm like, and I gave him a big hug and everything, so that's the cool thing about it is, you hear the guys, you read the guys, and then you see them and you get to be with them, and don't be me and melt. But some of them appreciate that respect, they do, because they put themselves out there. It's a thing a lot of people don't realize. When we write and when we teach, we're making ourselves vulnerable targets. We really are putting ourselves out there. So for these guys that have been doing it longer than us and that are bigger than us, they've equally been a vulnerable target for a long time. So be happy to see them, pay that respect, but then network with them, talk with them, try to gain any little nugget you can.
Well, I think I've told you this before, how this happened for me, how I got to teach out here. I wrote articles for the magazine for 10 years now, was Bill Guston.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very similar. Went to one of his classes that he was doing in Myrtle Beach at their fire conference. Talked to him on break about something in his presentation that really stood out to me. Handed me a business card and said, "What's your passion?" And started talking about being a company officer, also trying to balance being a reserve deputy with the sheriff's department. And Steve, you should write an article. And I was okay. And I wrote an article, and then next thing you know, write another one.
Yep.
Write another one. Right.
Yep.
And gee, this should be a class. And it just happened. But it would have never happened had he not pulled me aside and said, you really need to do this. And he was ridiculously encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that legacy. And it's passing it.
Yeah, passing
So
it, continuing it.
as you meet these individuals like Champos like that,
I love Champ.
he has some of the knowledge and just the stuff that he has put out there is massive.
Mm-hmm.
The Firefighter 1 and 2 book with forcible entry,
Mm-hmm.
all the classes that he's taught out here, the articles, everything. It's crazy. And he will look you dead in the face. Hey, brother, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
Hey, what's up, Dave? How you doing? You're not in West Point no more, huh?
Yep. And it's, I put my leg in my pants the exact same way you do. And that's what he says.
Yeah, champ style guy.
Yep. And it's not, oh, you're not part of the FDNY.
Mhm.
Oh, how big's your department? Oh, it's a two fire truck department in a small fire station.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that's great, man.
Yeah,
Good job.
Yeah.
Keep going at it. There's no status here.
Yeah.
It's great.
No, I agree. Anything else you guys want to add?
No, thanks for having me on.
Any final words?
No.
No.
Any words over there?
Our mystery guest. Dave, you got any final words?
Enjoy.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like that.
You
All right.
You want to at least put your head in the
Yeah,
frame?
yeah. Pop in real
Put
quick.
Put your head in the
Yeah,
frame.
put your
and
big
just
boy.
wave.
See that beautiful face of yours. There you go.
Gotta at least
Move in. There we
go.
go. There's Dave Mellon.
It's over here.
All right, this has been Dave McGlynn, Fire Engineering, Talk Radio, live from FDIC, Network for Success. Scott McGonigal, Steve Hamilton, and Dave Mellon, who popped in and out. Love you. Stay safe. Come to FDIC.